This leopard has not eaten for 9 days. Despite its relentless efforts to hunt, everything around it seems to conspire against its success. From the nimble pine squirrels to the scattered herds of antelope, this land appears to harbor nothing but malice toward it. Though it has become emaciated, its skin stretched thin over its bones, the leopard refuses to give up, as if it has grown accustomed to battling its surroundings. In its mind, there is only one thought: to ceaselessly seek opportunities to hunt. This once mighty creature, named Kamuti, is now a 13-year-old leopard in decline. In its prime, it ruled a territory spanning over 10 kilometers, but now its domain has been squeezed to less than 5 kilometers by encroaching rivals. The harsh laws of the jungle, combined with an aging body, have made its days unbearably difficult. Nearby, the powerful Ensef lion pride watches with predatory intent. The phrase 3 days hungry, 9 meals missed no longer suffices to describe its plight. Eating a proper, filling meal has become a luxury. Even when it occasionally manages to take down prey, the stronger lions mercilessly steal its kill, leaving Kamuti to eke out a meager existence under their watchful eyes. The Ensef pride is the source of Kamuti's suffering. Not only do they rob it of its hard-earned hunts, but they also relentlessly harass and drive it away. Helpless, Kamuti resorts to hiding, fleeing at the mere sight of the Ensef lions like a mouse escaping a cat. Hunger propels Kamuti forward, but after only a few steps, it collapses to the ground, too famished to continue. Though an adult leopard can survive without food for up to 2 weeks, reaching that point often marks the end of its life. 9 days without a meal, Kamuti rests briefly on the ground before forcing itself to rise once more. The territory teems with prey, yet dragging its weary body through the daylight makes hunting nearly impossible. Leopards rarely hunt during the day, as all the animals are alert and active, constantly wary of Kamuti's presence, perhaps a cruel twist of fate. Not long after resuming its trek, Kamuti encounters the Ensef lions again. Like rabid dogs, they attack without hesitation whenever they spot it, not to prey on it, but to protect their cubs. Lions are a leopard's nightmare, but leopards, in turn, are a terror to lion cubs. Locked in a perpetual rivalry, their relationship is fraught with tension. To retaliate against the lion's dominance, leopards often seize opportunities to kill cubs when the lionesses are away hunting, sometimes even eating them. But elderly Kamuti can only evade from a distance. With 14 robust adult lions guarding the Ensef pride, revenge is far beyond its reach. Another hunting plan thwarted, Kamuti waits for nightfall, its true domain. As darkness descends, it moves stealthily toward its prey, blending into the shadows. As an aged leopard, Kamuti's hunting experience is vast, and though its life is one of dire hardship, it still possesses its own means of survival. The night seems to favor it at last. A black-spotted antelope falls easily to its skill, and after 9 long days, Kamuti tastes meat again. The cycle of day and night continues. The tranquility of the dark is broken by the dawn's light, and Kamuti is roused by the buzzing of flies, sustained by the previous night's bounty. Today, the Ensef pride opts not to hunt, instead indulging in what they do best: sleeping. With full bellies, lionesses and male lions can sleep for 18 and 24 hours respectively, a boon for the surrounding wildlife. But Kamuti has no such luxury during the day. Still ravenous, it must hunt relentlessly. The savanna's heat is oppressive, and all the animals are on high alert. A leopard's success rate in daylight hunting is less than 1 in 20, and the effort is exhausting. But Kamuti has no choice. It must take the risk. Black-spotted antelopes can reach speeds of 56 kilometers per hour, making them elusive targets. Nearby, tree-dwelling baboons serve as sentinels, allied in their vigilance. Yet the disruptions don't end there. A squirrel, acting as another hidden lookout, lets out a piercing alarm whenever Kamuti nears its prey, ending the hunt before it can even begin. Frustrated, Kamuti raises its tail high like a flag, a sign it has abandoned hunting mode. Facing this weakened, aging leopard, even the typically vulnerable antelopes dare to taunt it up close. The sun blazes overhead, and while most animals rest during the lion's slumber, Kamuti cannot stop. Hunger drives it to a dry riverbed, its favorite hunting ground. The natural gullies offer perfect cover, giving it a near-certain chance of striking successfully if prey draws near. As Kamuti lies in wait, the unpredictability of fate intervenes. An Ensef lioness creeps up from behind, turning the hunter into the hunted. From her elevated vantage point, she tracks Kamuti's every move. At the critical moment, she pounces. But fortunately, Kamuti reacts swiftly, bolting toward a distant dead tree and narrowly escaping her pursuit. Though it survives the encounter, its hunting plan is foiled once again. To avoid further harassment, Kamuti retreats into hiding. Another day passes with the rise and fall of the sun. Kamuti awakens as usual, its body growing weaker by the day. Today it must take a desperate stand. Returning to the dry riverbed, a spot that boosts its odds of success, it conceals itself perfectly. But one factor remains beyond its control: the wind. A sudden gust nearly betrays its position, though calm soon returns. Kamuti waits in silence. Today, no lions interrupt, a rare opportunity. An antelope ventures into the gully and Kamuti stalks it unnoticed. Suddenly, the herd scatters in panic, but this time, Kamuti does not fail. Seizing the moment, it lands a successful kill. This feast is a lifeline, pulling it back from the brink. At dawn, Kamuti awakens as usual, driven by hunger to drag its exhausted frame out to hunt again. After a morning of effort, it catches an antelope. But before it can take a bite, the ever-hostile Ensef pride tracks it down by scent. Facing lions far stronger in every way, Kamuti often chooses hunger over the risk of injury. This time, however, it lingers nearby, hoping the lions might leave scraps. Too famished to give up, it watches, only for the lions to deny it even that small mercy, driving it far away. Resigned yet undeterred, Kamuti presses on, seeking another chance. By mid-morning, with the sun blazing, Kamuti returns to the dry riverbed, its lucky spot. The terrain masks its presence perfectly, but daytime hunting remains a challenge. Even with years of experience and ideal cover, its success rate is below 5%. A leopard's head and tail emit a pungent odor, intensified by the heat, alerting prey to its presence despite their inability to see it. A shift in the wind can ruin its stealth, making a silent approach nearly impossible. Yet as a 13-year survivor, Kamuti employs every trick it knows. Mud mixed with giraffe urine becomes its perfect camouflage perfume. At night, hunger drives Kamuti out once more. Though its scent is masked, the keen antelopes detect a faint trace. To succeed, it must get as close as possible, stalking downwind with painstaking care. But when it springs, it misses again. Meanwhile, another leopard named Olimba, a vigorous 3-year-old in its prime, edges closer to Kamuti's territory. Recently independent from its mother, Olimba seeks a rich domain to claim. Strong and agile, it is at the peak of leopard prowess. On its first solo hunt in the drought-stricken Luangwa Valley, where 5 rainless months have drawn hordes of herbivores, it fails. The heat and open terrain double the difficulty, but youth is its asset and chance to hone its skills. Wandering in search of a new home, Olimba nears Kamuti's land. At dawn, Olimba is awakened by the foraging calls of guinea fowl, now less than a kilometer from Kamuti. Hungry after 3 days, it targets the birds for breakfast, only for a chattering squirrel to spoil its plan. Denied a meal, Olimba sets its sights on a hearty dinner. With superb night vision, it spots resting guinea fowl in the trees. Climbing is a leopard's forte, but the bird's wings give them the edge. Passion alone won't suffice. Olimba needs a territory of its own, teeming with antelope. The next morning, Olimba boldly announces its arrival in Kamuti's domain with a low growl and scent markings, a direct challenge. For Kamuti, who has held this land for over a decade, repelling countless intruders, this young rival stirs an urgent sense of danger. Olimba presses deeper, finding a cached antelope Kamuti had hidden in a tree. Though ravenous, it sniffs the rotting carcass and moves on, unwilling to stoop to carrion. Food. If it can oust the current ruler, Olimba's days of hunger will end. Kamuti doesn't flee. It responds swiftly, marking key spots with its scent to assert ownership and patrolling tirelessly. A leopard's head secretes an oily substance, paired with tail emissions and urine, signaling a fierce warning to outsiders. This territory is its lifeline. Though hunger is a constant companion, it sustains Kamuti's survival. Another day dawns, and Olimba ventures further into Kamuti's core. The abundant antelope fuel its ambition, and though Kamuti's scent grows thicker on the vegetation, Olimba remains unfazed. Sniffing the markers, it discerns an older female leopard, information that bolsters its confidence. Meanwhile, Kamuti tracks Olimba's scent, recognizing a stronger foe. Though the odds are slim, survival demands a fight. It must expel this invader. Days later, Olimba rests in a tree, weary yet restless. A deep gash on its ankle, evidence of Kamuti's resistance, keeps it alert, scanning the riverbed below. Nearby, Kamuti lurks in a hollow, aged but still capable of inflicting harm. As it emerges, its gaunt frame is heartbreakingly thin, its trembling body barely able to stand. Licking a wound, it reveals a graver injury on its left leg, a potentially fatal blow for an elderly leopard. In this state, hunting swift antelope is impossible. In their clash, Kamuti has suffered more grievously, leaving it unable to hunt and teetering on the edge of collapse. Forced to make do with food it would normally shun, Kamuti faced a piece of cat meat. The anal secretions made it both foul-smelling and unpalatable, but with no other options, Kamuti had to endure it. Though it was hard to swallow, the leopard pushed through, refusing to succumb to starvation. The consequence of doing so was immediate. The food Kamuti had just forced down came back up. Kamuti's age and experience had pitted it against the young and vigorous Olimba. As rain returned to the earth, ending the dry season in the Luangwa Valley, Olimba emerged victorious over Kamuti, becoming the new queen of this land. As one leopard's story drew to a close, another's journey was just beginning. Having claimed a bountiful territory, Olimba also found a mate. From then on, she would rule and uphold her own legacy, much like Kamuti once did. Defeated, Kamuti couldn't hold on much longer. Hunger and injuries ushered it toward the end of its life. It lay beneath the shade of a tree, its breathing faint and shallow. Wild leopards rarely live past 14 years, and at 13, Kamuti had already achieved an admirable feat. Now its life's journey had reached its conclusion.